You've probably already learned the basic game of chess, which is checkmate. You've probably known that in some chess games you might see a checkmate, but then it actually isn't a real checkmate. Let's take a look at this position to see what I mean. In this position, we're going to use a subject called removing the defender. Removing the defender is kind of like a checkmate, except that you need to get rid of the defending piece. Let's take a look at this position to see what I mean. In this position, we see the queen and bishop both looking at the h7 square. So you might be thinking, oh, if I capture this pawn, the king has no legal moves, nobody can block. So you might be thinking, oh, it will actually be checkmate. But it's actually not, because you see the knight on f6, it's seeing the h7 square. So if we take the pawn on h7, the knight will simply capture the queen. So how do we get rid of the defending piece? Rook takes f6. Now this is a bad move, because you're saying, oh, a rook is worth 5 points, but a knight is only worth 3. Why? Okay, this is a sacrifice. You sacrifice the rook. If bishop takes, we have queen takes h7, and this is simply a checkmate. Or if we go back to that position, g takes f6, queen to h7 is another checkmate, because if the king takes, we can take the king, and of course, if you take, that's an all-out in chess. Your opponent would just win. This is also another subject of removing the defender. I have a few tips for you. 1. Remember to always look out to see if there's a real checkmate, because there are 3 ways your opponent can escape from check: moving your king, blocking the check, or capturing the checking piece. If you see one of these things is on the list, like that position, queen takes h7, the knight could take. If I went back to this position, you might be thinking, oh, can't I just take the pawn? But they can just simply take the queen. So you have to look out on the whole board to make sure it is safe to do so. This should give you a feel of how removing the defender works.